Yay. I got to go live, y'all. I know I hadn't done a video all week. I guess that's what happens when YouTube is in control of everything, including me, unfortunately. What's up? Yeah, so I'm leaving work a little early today. It's Friday. And did pretty good with overtime this week. Everybody wanted to leave at 3:30 today, so that's what we did. We left at 3:30. And I don't have my sunglasses. Ooh, that sun is bright. Well, hello there, kiddo. What's happening? So I was just saying that YouTube finally let me go live. Of course, you know, I've been grounded all week. They gave me some kind of copyright infringement black marks on my record and took my ability to do videos. So I couldn't post anything, and I couldn't do any live videos till today. Fucking YouTube. Wouldn't you know it? All this copyright and censorship and all the bullshit that they do on their platform. Oh well. So what's new, kiddo? I see you're sick and in pain. I thought you were going to get some pain medication. What happened with that? Ooh, look. Look at that. There's a North Carolina tag in front of me, and I'm in Missouri. Isn't that cool? Look at that. My home state of North Carolina. Woo! North Carolina. All right. I'm done fucking around. Give me just a second. I'll turn this thing back around where everybody can see me here. Woo! North Carolina. Anyway, that's a trip. Never thought I'd see that. Wow. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I thought you were getting some pain medication. Let's see here. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I like when I see stuff from North Carolina tags. Well, North and South Carolina both. Every once in a while I'll get one. I see one from North or South Carolina. It's not very often though. It's just ironic. See that? That car was bought at Rock Hill Buick GMC. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if we can see it again. Let me see. Look at there. No. So down at the bottom it says Rock Hill Buick GMC. Anyway. Let me put this thing back over here. Where's all my regulars at today, I wonder? Yeah. All right. God, that sun's bright. Is it not? There we go. Get rid of some of that. You have acetaminophen. Is that all they gave you was acetaminophen? You know, I take Goody powders, got acetaminophen in it. Didn't they prescribe you any kind of... Wasn't Tommy supposed to go get you some pain medication or something the other day? That doesn't make any sense. If you're in that much pain, why they wouldn't put you on something better than that, like Motrin, or even a low dose like Darvocet or something would be better than what you're having to endure, I guess. What's up, viewers? Woo! I got 3 people on here today. I'm hoping some of my regulars will stop in. In case you guys don't know, my name is Jim. This is my channel. Well, actually, it's YouTube's channel, but they just use me as a front man. I had been able to make videos all week. They put me on restriction because I was using quote-unquote copyrighted material. And I think basically what happens with that is that, you know, somebody goes through and they see music that they like, or they want to claim the rights to something that really doesn't even belong to them anyway. Look, I have 3 people left. Oh well, no big deal. I didn't need them anyway. I don't need the views. I don't worry about the views. It'd be nice to have some more people come in and say hello, but if they don't, that's no big deal. That doesn't bother me in the least. There, we got the sun out of my face at least. I don't know, they said Tylenol for pain. Tylenol? Don't take Tylenol, that shit'll fuck you up. Did you not see all the controversy about Tylenol not long ago? There was women taking Tylenol by the handfuls because President Trump told them, don't take Tylenol. But they were taking it by the handfuls, what I mean. Woohoo, North Carolina. Look at this fool. Yep. Anyway, so it's been a pretty long week. I stayed out Tuesday, though. I couldn't come to work Tuesday because it was snowing. And the roads weren't, well, it wasn't still snowing, but it had snowed and the roads were still kind of icky, so I didn't even take a chance on going to work Tuesday. So I had to put in for some PTO time. I got 8 hours, but I still managed to pull out, 47 hours this week, which is pretty good. I like the overtime, 7 hours overtime. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it does add up, you know, especially when you get time and a half. And but we got a bonus this week, and what really sucks about that is that even though my bonus was pretty decent, I still had to pay taxes on it because it was over the allotted amount for the minimum amount or whatever. And so I ended up paying $237 in taxes. Or 200, is that right? 237? Yes, $237 in taxes out of my bonus. You know, I remember a time years ago, I worked for a steel mill. Ashley, you might know what I'm talking about when I worked at Teledyne Allback. And we would get bonuses, but I wouldn't get taxed on my bonuses. That was not a thing. You know what I mean? When you got a bonus, you got a bonus, and that was it. You know, part of what you make for bonus. So you may as well not even get a fucking bonus because, you know, you expect a number, and then by the time you get your pay, it's a totally different number. So it really sucks anyway. The government sucks. They're robbing us, every one of us, you, me, and the next guy. The tax shit, nothing but organized theft. That's all it is. They're stealing from Americans and laundering the money through other countries to make themselves rich and make themselves powerful. It's a damn shame it has to be that way. I know you're still there. I know you're not going to leave. Who else we got in there? You know, I like it when people come in and say hello. So the new viewer come in, when you came in, if you just want to give me a hi, a hello, kiss my ass, go to hell, something, I'll even make you famous. I'll make you Facebook and YouTube famous. I will. I'll be like, hello, and I'll say your name, and then you're famous, because people like me, for some reason. Anyway, so, but yeah, so, like, getting paid every 2 weeks really sucks. That's something new. Actually, we started that, like, at the end of August, September, end of September, because November, I got one check, and then, no, I got 2 checks. 2 checks in November, and then I've gotten 1 check so far this month. And we used to pay every week. But see, I guess the government figured out that, you know, when you get paid every 2 weeks, they're allowed to take more taxes out because your total amount of pay puts you in a totally different tax bracket, right? So say if you had an average of, I don't know, say for instance you made $1,000 in a 40-hour week, right? So they're going to take 1/3 of that. So 1/3 of 1,000 is about, I don't know, $360 or something like that. So now what they can do is taking that $360. These fools here getting ready to crash. What a fucking dumbass. Anyway, so they take that. Not only do they take that, but it puts you in a different tax bracket depending on how much money you make. So if you take 360 times 2, that's 720. They might take another $150 in taxes just because of that boost in the tax bracket. See what I mean? So it's kind of it's a real fucking ripoff as far as I'm concerned. But you know, what do you do? You know what I mean? There's no way to control it. There's nothing you can do about it, because all it is organized theft by income, basically. And it's the U.S. And then they take that tax money that they're supposed to be, you know, fixing roads and working on infrastructure and things like that, and then they fucking launder it through other countries, like what the hell's the name of that country over there? Everybody's so fucking Ukraine. You know, Ukraine is like one of the biggest ports or hubs for child pornography and child sex trafficking, and they launder a lot of money from over there back to our politicians. You know, we send them billions of dollars every year. It's not like, you know, it's not like we don't have our own debts to pay, because we do. You know, we're like 30. I think there was like estimated, like, I don't know, last I heard it was like 36 trillion dollars in debt to other countries and shit, you know, which really sucks. But anyway, so enough of that. But anyway, gig sucks, and I'm already tired of it, you know. When you get people to call you on the phone, they're like, "Hey, Dad," not you actually, but the other one. "Hey, Dad, can you let me borrow some money? I'm sorry, kiddo, I don't have it. They're paying me every 2 weeks now. You know, I'm sorry. If I had it, I would. But all my shit's tied up right now." You know what I mean? But that's what I get, I guess. I wish I could find a job again that paid every week. It's easier to live by the week than it is. Man, God, it's hot in here. Hold on just a second, y'all. I need to turn off. I got fucking heated seats in this car, and they fucking roast me. And I've got a heated steering wheel, so my hands get hot. Man, the heat's kicking. But it's like, I don't know, 45 degrees out today, which is nicer than it has been. It's been in the 20s since most of the week. It's been like in the 20s and 30s. Like I said, we got some snow last week, so it snowed Saturday, and then Sunday late afternoon I went and dug my car out, and then I went to work Monday, and then it snowed Monday while I was at work again, and it took me, like, for a regular 20-minute trip from work, it took me an hour and 15 minutes to get home, because, you know, people don't know how to drive in the snow here for some reason. Even though we get snow, you know, on a pretty regular basis, people still just have not grasped the idea or the concept of driving in the snow. See, if you allow yourself plenty of stopping distance from the car in front of you, you should never have to slow down. But, you know, you got these idiots that are stupid, and they're smoking pot while they're driving, so they're stupid and stoned. Now you throw in the mix of, you know, a wintry mix of rain, snow, and ice, and what do you have? Disaster waiting to happen. So, yeah. But anyway, like I said, it took an hour and 15 minutes for me to make a usual 20-minute trip. And then when I got up Tuesday morning, I got up at my regular time, and I thought, well, you know, I'll try to go to work today. But I was watching the TV, and I guess it's my own fault, but I don't watch the news usually. But I was watching watching the weather and watching the road report and that kind of thing. And they were saying that the way that I go to work, that there was a wreck, and the traffic was backed up. So I said, you know, hell with it. If there's crashes, then I'm not going to take a chance on crashing my brand new car on the way to. Well, it's not brand new. It's got 11,000 miles on it, but it's brand new to me still. But I didn't want to crash my car, so I figured, well, I'll just take the day off. So I took Tuesday off. I didn't go to work. So I had some PTO time. Thank God for PTO, vacation time. If any of you are not familiar with PTO, that's it's called PP. Let's see, what does the P stand for? I forget, progressive time off maybe, or something like that. Anyway, I get us like I work during the week, and I get a certain amount of hours at the end of a 40-hour period for vacation. I think it's or PTO day. It's like a given day off. They give me like 2 hours and 36 minutes or something like that for every 40 that I work. So it takes me roughly 3 weeks to get let's see, 8 hours, something like that. Yeah, it takes a month to get 8 hours. So for every month that I work is basically a day, or every 3 weeks that I work is basically a day off. And then we get what they call floating holiday pay, which I've only used one day this year. I really should use another day of floating holiday pay. I think I'm going to use it at New Year's, maybe like New Year's Eve, take New Year's Day off. Of course, we don't have to work on New Year's Day anyway. And then maybe I'll take the day after New Year's off. But I think they're going to close up the shop anyway, so there's not going to be anybody there anyway. But there you have it. So Ashley, you sure are quiet back there in the background. What's going on with you? You have any big plans this weekend? Have you worked at all, or have you been calling in sick because of your tummy? What's up with that? You got to tell me something. That's right. Hello, viewer. What's happening? I guess I got somebody else in there. You know, it'd be nice to be able to look up at that thing and, see 20 or 30 people on. I get scragglers that come through every now and then. I'll get one or two people here and there. Oh, I gotta go by the thrift shop today and drop off some shit, some stuff that Dee's been doing a little bit of winter time cleaning, and she had some time to put some stuff in a box for me to take to donate. So I'm taking it to donate and stuff like that. What's up, viewers? We got 3 viewers in there now. What's happening? If you don't mind, hit the like button or subscribe, whichever is more comfortable for you. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. I've already talked about most of the stuff. You guys have come in a little late. We've talked a little bit about taxes. We've talked a little bit about work schedules and pay schedules. We've talked a little bit about my week this week, and snow days, versus like work days and blah 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 and stuff like that. So if you guys are coming in at the ass end of the conversation, you probably have really no idea what's being said about what. So then you can just stick around, and if I find anything else that is kind of interesting to talk about, then we can talk about it. Or if you have a topic that you'd like to throw at me, we can talk about your topic. As long as it doesn't have to do with free Palestine, trans people are people too, or women too, or something like that. Or government or politics or religion. I don't like to talk about those things. Anything other than that we can talk about. We can talk about how drunk you got last night, what concerts you're going to see, what vacations you're looking forward to. I mean, just a host of anything. So if you got something you want to talk about, just throw it my way, and we can talk about it. But otherwise, you might get bored. And if that's the case, then I'm sorry, but I can only talk about so much in such a short amount of time. I only talk usually about 30 minutes or so after I get off work. And but today, I usually stop and get gas on Fridays, but I still got a half a tank, so I'm good there. So I've got a box of stuff in the back of my car back there. I need to take by the we have a place here called St. Vincent de Paul. St. Vincent de Paul is kind of like Goodwill or Salvation Army. You take shit, you donate it, and they sell it. They resell it. It's a resale shop, basically, is all it is. So that's where I'm going right now, on my way to my crib. Now, I did leave work a little early today. Nobody wanted to stay past 3:30. I can't say I blame them because I hate staying late, but I do like the overtime, so I'll stay generally as long as I need to. You guys hold on a second. I'm going to take a drink of my Mountain Dew Kickstart. What flavor is it, Ashley? Do you know? What flavor is it? Come on, tell me something. My daughter knows me better than anybody else. She's on here too, by the way. Her name is Ashley. She's my moderator. She's a good moderator too. And so if anybody wants to talk trash or be riffraff, she takes care of it for me. So I don't have to try and do it while I'm driving. But you guys hold on a second. Let me take a drink of my Mountain Dew Kickstart, and I'll be right back. Hold on just a second. Well, I got 2 people watching and 2 likes. Isn't that cool? That's 100%. Anyway, so I don't really have any big plans this weekend. I know that I'm going to shoot some video. I'm going to a street festival in St. Charles, Missouri, probably tomorrow. Now, I know we're supposed to get a little bit of snow tomorrow, so I'm not really sure how that's going to go or how that's going to work out, but we are actually supposed to go to this this festival tomorrow. They did it during Halloween. They called it Legends and Lanterns. Basically, they had people out there, like dressed up in costumes, and it was more for the kids than anything else. Good God, why is the sun bright? But so this one here is going to have they'll have Krampus and Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and the reindeer and all kinds of stuff out there. So, well, hello, Kelly 03. How you doing? Where are you from, Kelly 03? Kyle, is that Kylie or Kelly? I guess it's spelled the way that it sounds, maybe. Kylie, okay. Well, good. Anyway, so it ought to be pretty fun. This is like the 5th or 6th year they've done this, so I'll probably be shooting some more video. And thanks for stopping in there, Kylie 03. Where are you at? What part of the country are you in? Are you out of the country, or are you in the United States, or where are you at? I like to get people involved. When I do my videos, usually it's just me and Ashley, and I'm talking to her. But every once in a while, I have other people stop in. I like to find out where people are from. Oh, you're from the UK. All right. Well, that's cool. Nice. Oh, Kyle. Okay. I didn't. Oh, no, I thought that was an I. It's 2 L's. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm bad. I'm terrible with names. Plus I'm an American, and we don't really pay attention to, fine details sometimes. Or at least I don't anyway. So anyway, it's good to have you in there. It's nice to know that, somebody on the other side of the world is watching me right now. What are you, like 6 hours ahead of me? So it's 3:57 here. So what is it, 9:57 there at night p.m.? Or see, here in the United States, we have time zones. So like on the East Coast right now, it's 4:57. Here where I'm at, it's 3:57. We have what we call the mountain time, which would be like the Colorado. There's like a mountain area there. It's Colorado. It's 4:50. Let's see. No, it's 2:57 there. And then on the West Coast, which we call the left coast, that is they're at 2:50. Well, it's 2:58 now. I'm sorry, 1:58. So the time zone thing kind of throws me off. Oh, it's 10:57. So the hour difference between the East Coast and me makes a difference then. Okay, well, that's cool. All right. Well, anyway, if you'd like to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. I'm usually on about this time of day, or night in your case, when I drive home from work. I do this generally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, this week I was on restriction. YouTube put me on, they grounded me for a week because I used like 30 seconds of somebody else's song. I don't know if it was in a short video or if it was in one of my live videos that I do, because sometimes I leave the radio on and I forget to turn it off. So YouTube is this really big stickler about copyrighted material. And so they gave me a strike. I guess I got too many strikes, so they put me on restriction for a week. But I do a lot of like short videos, and I do videos like when I go to concerts and things like that. You know, just silly things. Every once in a while, there's another site I go to. I steal videos from there and post them just because I think they're funny or whatever. But for the most part, like I said, I'm on here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday about the same time. Now, if you guys will be patient here just a second, I'm gonna have to get out of my car here, and I'm at the donation place. I'm gonna be donating some stuff, kind of like Salvation Army. I don't know if they have these things in the UK or not, like some resale shops. You've been a subscriber to my channel for 4 months, and I see a lot of names, so I may not know who you are, but I'm sorry for that. I have a real short attention span sometimes. But you guys hold on just a second. I'll be right back. These are a little bit heavy, a little bit off. Have a good one. All right. Yeah, I don't really have anybody that comes and see me on a regular basis usually, except for Ashley. Ashley's usually pretty regular or dependable. I do have a couple other people that I see that are repeat viewers when I'm on, and I do like to try and remember people. So next time you're on, or the next time I see you, good God, I'll know who you are. But like I said, I've been off for a week. Media list unavailable for browsing. Okay, I know that because I've got my phone going here. You watched maybe 2 or 3 live streams on this channel. Well, I appreciate all the views. Now, I'll let you know, I don't do this, like, I'm not making money from this, and but I do like to have people come in and at least say hello, and then I give them a shout out and that kind of thing. I got a phone call. Maybe because you changed your profile picture. That's a good possibility. I don't know, your picture's really small. I'll have to go into my list of viewers or subscribers and see. God, that's terrible, isn't it? Looks like I've got like a light beaming. That's the sun. The sun is directly that way. I'm sitting still right now. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for the traffic to die down so I can make a right-hand turn here. Conversation about football and soccer. Oh, okay. So I've talked to you about the St. Louis Battlehawks UFL football team then, right? And was kind of explaining about football. I don't watch a lot of soccer. We do have, well, soccer's football in your country. Is that right? And then we have rugby. I'm not sure what you guys call rugby. I think you call that football as well, or European League football or something like that. But anyway, yeah. So American football did kind of make a break into the UK. I've been watching, I was during I guess the spring months, I was watching some European League football. And I can't remember the name of the teams, but actually they're they're European football, but they're American football rules, and they got the American football. What can I take for pain from your stomach? I would just take some body pain formula goodies powders, Ashley, to be honest with you. But anyway, yeah, so the football season, we have the NFL. They're having the season right now. Actually, I think they start the playoffs at the end of the month. And then the Super Bowl is going to be what they call the Super Bowl, is going to be like the first or second week in February. And then in March, let's see, probably around the April, like the second week in April, we have the Spring League football that starts. That's going to be the UFL. You don't take goody powders. Well, I don't know how to help you, baby. I'm sorry. I thought that they would have given you something better for pain than what you're getting, acetaminophen or whatever it is. That acetaminophen is not really good for your body anyway. I don't know if anybody's told you that, but that shit's horrible for your system. Dee gets really pissed off at me when I take it. Well, let me take that back. She doesn't get pissed off. She just doesn't like me taking it because they found that acetaminophen, it eats up your liver, I believe it is, or one of your kidneys or something. But anyway, yeah, so you should probably mention that you're a big sports fan. Oh, you're not a big sports fan. Okay. Maybe that... now I think I remember talking to somebody that wasn't a very big sports fan before, so maybe I do remember you now. Anyway, so we don't have to talk about sports then. You guys get much snow over there in the UK? I know that you guys have winter, but I know there are certain parts of the UK, like higher elevations, that get snow. But do you get it where you're at? Hydration could be good for you, Ashley. Oh yeah, I agree, absolutely. Hydration would be awesome. I find that sometimes when I get headaches, if I go get me something to drink, it takes care of it. There's sometimes I get these really bad migraines, and I don't know if it's nerves or if it's that I'm dehydrated or what, but I get these really bad headaches, and the only things that I can take for it usually to get rid of it is something called goody powders. I don't know if you have those over there in the UK. They come in, they're powdered, basically what they are. They're aspirin and acetaminophen, and they come in powder form. And you mix them I just put them in my mouth and chase them with water, or something that has flavor to it. And generally it doesn't take really long for me to get rid of a headache. Not much where you live? Okay. Maybe I talked to you, did I tell you about going to the UK? I went over there to see Iron Maiden and Trivium play at the O2 Arena right outside of London. I know I've talked to some people in the UK about that, so maybe we talked about that as well. I don't know. Anyway, I like the UK. I think that, the thing that I found interesting about the UK is that, first of all, the people over there are really nice. And they're respectable all the time. It doesn't matter, who you are or where you're from. But I think that the only incident that I had while I was there, a guy got a little frustrated with me because I was trying to use one of those ticket machines, for the tube, and I didn't quite grasp. Like the first time he explained it to me, I didn't really kind of grasp it, and I could tell he was a little bit raspy the second time he was going over it with me. But anyway, so I was over there in 2011, I believe it was, or 2000. Yeah, it was 2011. I came from the United States. We left here on Thursday. We got into London at 11:30 in the morning, and then we went to a place called Canning Town. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Canning Town. You're not originally from the UK, you just moved here a couple years ago. Okay, so where are you originally from? And I'll continue my story. So we got into London at about 11:30. We flew into Heathrow Airport, and we made it over to Canning Town. We took a taxi over there, or a public transportation, or whatever it's called over there. I can't remember. And then we were supposed to go to the concert on a Friday night. I had tickets for, but we ended up not going because we had jet lag real bad. So we went to Saturday's show instead. And then while I was there, I went to a place called Covenant Gardens. I got to ride the tube. The tube was cool as hell. Mind the gap. I was like, that's the one thing I remember about it the most. Riding the tube was they came on the loudspeaker and mind the gap. But and that was pretty cool. But anyway, so we went to the concert. we did a bunch of touristy stuff. You're from North Africa, okay? Well, that's cool. Let's see. Johannesburg's in South Africa. Am I correct? I'm really geographically. Oh, you're North Africa? Okay. So I'm really geographically challenged, and so I've always wanted to go to Johannesburg, and because it has like a great big British population, I believe. And I hear that there's some really cool stuff there. And eventually I want to go to Brazil too. That would be cool. But anyway, so we went to the concert Saturday night, and incidentally, in London was the first time that I ever ate Indian food. I had Indian food. It was really good. But we ended up leaving Sunday morning, and then we were back in the United States by Sunday evening. So it was kind of a quick trip, but I really had fun. Well, we probably could have stayed longer, but my girlfriend was kind of worried about her job because she was supposed to work that Friday. She got off Thursday, and she ended up calling in sick on the airplane. She was on the airplane and called him and said, "I'm not coming in. I'm sick." But so it was just, that whole experience was really cool. I really enjoyed like the culture and the architecture. I think you're still not very familiar with places in the UK. Okay. Well, yeah, there's some places here. I moved to this area you're still discovering. Now, are you near London by chance? Because I'm going to tell you something about London that might kind of like make you go, oh, cool. Anyway, so the architecture, like I said, was really cool over there. I really want to go back. I'd like to go to Dublin sometime, Ireland. Oh, you're in Manchester. Okay. So if you go into London, along the river, was that the Thames River or the Times River? There's an old power plant there that has 4 smokestacks, and you can see it from across the river. And this was like one of the highlights of me going there. It was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen, because that power plant, and I thought it was just a factory, some kind of a boat factory or something, but it used to be a power plant. I think they turned it into condominiums or apartments or something now, or in your case, flats. I think they call them flats. That building is on the cover of the Pink Floyd Animals album. And I remember, growing up and listening to that album and wondering where that place was at. And then as I got older, I did a little more research. I found out that it was in London. But when we went there on the trip, that wasn't one of the first things that came to mind. So we were headed out Sunday morning to Heathrow, go back to Heathrow Airport. And as we're going down this highway, I look over to my left, and I'll be damned, lo and behold, what is it? It's that freaking building off of the Pink Floyd Animals album. So that was like, even though I had a really good time, and I got to see my favorite band in their own, territory. I met a lot of good people over there. I met people from, Yugoslavia and Croatia, all over the UK. There were some people actually that were there from Canada. I met some people from Germany, some people from Poland. And some of these people I've been able to keep in contact with. It's been, kind of a cool experience even after I came home. Um, but like I said, I really want to go back there. Now, I was supposed to, originally, I wanted to go to Dublin, Ireland, because my fiance and I both, we have some Irish background. So, I mean, in our ancestry. So I wanted to go to Dublin to see Iron Maiden play. And but both of the shows in Dublin were sold out, and um, they played Dublin Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday they played in London. So the Friday and Saturday show are the two that I got tickets for, even though we only went to one show. Um, but I mean, that whole experience was just awesome. But anyway, so it's been 40 minutes, guys. And girls. I'm gonna go ahead and take off. It's good to see you in there again, Kyle. Hey, come back anytime. If you see me on here and you get a notification, make sure when you go back in your subscription, there's going to be a little bell in there somewhere. You can hit that bell, and it'll let you know. It'll send you notifications when I'm on. Because it's always cool to see people on here that I've talked to before, and to see people from across. Because mostly the people that I see. Yeah, it's good to catch up with you too. You love me, Ashley. Oh, I love you too. It's good to catch up with people. There's one guy that I was looking for in particular that lives out in California. He usually catches me, and him and I have talked about maybe doing a live video together. Yeah, I know, baby. I know what you were saying. You don't have to retype it. But anyway, and I see we've got a third viewer. I'm not sure who the third viewer is, but it's good to see you in there. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to go inside. I know my dog's probably swimming in his own pee right now because he's been at home alone all day in his kennel. I don't let him run around the house during the day when we're not here. I don't want him chewing up shit, but you guys take it easy. Have a good weekend. Like I said, look for some videos this weekend. Remember, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, around this same time, I'm generally on. If not, I'm usually an hour later because I've been working, 10 hours instead of 9 here recently. So you guys take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you again on the next What is Jim About to Say show. All right, take it easy. Bye.